Hello, and welcome to Earth Echoes with Amber Fields. It's a beautiful autumn day here, and I'm going to read a writing by Jason Gray titled The Descent into Shadow, Part 3. I have learned that light, when hidden too long, begins to ache for its own darkness. It seeks friction, resistance, something to push against so it can remember its own strength. My descent was not a mistake. It was an initiation. The world began to change when I grew older. The innocence that once wrapped me like a thin layer of protection began to peel away. Reality, or what I thought was reality, started to show its seams. The smiles of adults were masks. Their words were scripts, and beneath the skin of everything pulsed an invisible hunger, a system that fed on exhaustion, conformity, and quiet despair. I entered adolescence like a soldier without a war, angry, awake, and searching for something I could not name. I wanted meaning, but all I could find were distractions. I wanted truth, but everywhere I turned, someone was selling it. The church spoke of salvation, the schools spoke of success, the world spoke of obedience, and none of it felt alive. There was a hollowness beneath the surface of everything, a faint mechanical echo in the rhythm of human life. I remember thinking, this cannot be all there is, and yet I kept walking, deeper into the labyrinth, deeper into the lie. The beautiful lie. It is strange how the world teaches you to bury your own light, gently at first, then ruthlessly. They call it growing up. They call it responsibility. What it really means is submission. The more I tried to become what society wanted me to be, the more I felt myself dissolving. School became theater. Work became repetition. The people around me moved like ghosts, talking about futures they did not believe in, chasing dreams they did not want, worshiping comfort like it was divinity. I tried to play along, but my soul rebelled. I could feel it, whispering behind my every thought, "This is not who you are." I made mistakes, countless ones. I tried to numb the fire, to drown the knowing. I tried to become normal, human, grounded, small. Every time I turned my back on the flame, life would find a way to drag me into another storm, forcing me to face the truth I was still avoiding. There were moments of despair so deep they did not even feel emotional. They felt cosmic, like the universe itself was showing me what happens when a soul forgets its own origin. In the darkest nights, there was always a flicker, faint, stubborn, unkillable. The flame never left me. It waited patiently inside my ruin, whispering, "Keep going." The shattering. Then there came a point when the illusion could no longer hold. Everything I had built, the identities, the relationships, the illusions of control, collapsed in sequence, one by one. The world that had promised me stability revealed its true nature, a fragile system of mirrors reflecting nothing real. I watched as everything I thought I was burned away, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. The collapse was not loud. It was silent. It was the silence of realization that the person I had spent years trying to become had never existed. I fell apart completely. In that destruction, something extraordinary happened. When the noise of my false self finally went quiet, I could hear again, not with my ears, but with my being. I began to remember what I had come here for, not to live safely, but to ignite. The awakening within the fall. Pain became my new teacher. It stripped away everything unnecessary, every illusion, every self-deception I clung to for comfort. I began to understand that suffering was not punishment. It was purification. The fire was not sent to destroy me. It was sent to reveal me. Through heartbreak, through failure, through loss, I learned the hidden truth. The descent is not the opposite of ascension. It is the doorway to it. Every time I broke, I saw more clearly. Every time I lost, I remembered more. Every time I thought I was finished, something greater inside me stirred. I began to realize that the system was never external. It lived inside us, in the patterns we repeat, the fears we obey, the beliefs we inherit. To destroy it, I first had to destroy it within myself. That was the beginning of liberation, not escape, but reclamation. To burn the false self is to make room for the true one. The shadow's gift. Looking back now, I see that I had to descend into shadow to meet myself. Without the fall, I would never have discovered the foundation beneath everything, the unbreakable stillness that survives. Beneath everything, the unbreakable stillness that survives every fire. It is easy to speak of light once you have survived the dark. The real mastery is to bless the darkness itself, to see it as the sacred forge where the soul remembers its origin. I would not trade a single night of pain, not a single collapse, not a single tear. Because through all of it, I came to understand something that most people never see. The shadow is not the enemy of the flame. It is the stage on which the flame reveals its brilliance. That was the descent, the unmaking, the part of the story where I died without dying. From that death, something began to rise. Jason Gray. I wanted to read that today because I've just been feeling the energy of the collective a lot lately, and I think that that is a part of Jason's life that a lot of us can relate to. Most people have been through that soul's dark night, and some never come out alive, but when you do and you can survive it, it can ignite you if you let it. And that's when the real power begins, I think, for us as souls on a great journey. I know that as a little kid, when I was really becoming aware, I was just astonished at the nonsense of the world. But I was definitely brought into obedience with it, potentially more than Jason allowed in his life. And I felt forced to accept it, but it always felt so strange to me. I would see these nonsensical things, the way that the system works and that everyone just goes along with. And it was really a clue for me that we are in a strange place and it isn't perhaps as it should be. And as a little one, it seemed like everything needed fixing. And so, unfortunately, I tried to fix a lot of stuff, and I tried to be the one to smooth things over, and I became a people pleaser, and it did not serve me well at all, but I realize now it was a part of my journey. But I really connected with a few things in Jason's writing there when he said, the system was never external, it lived inside us. Patterns we repeat, fears we obey, beliefs we inherit. That's just become so obvious to me in the last 5 years or so, how true that is, that, we create our reality that we experience as humanity, and the powers that be or the forces of evil that have too much power over humanity at this point in time, or have in the past at least, they know that, and they have worked very hard to program us with, and to get us to create the reality that they want. But it's time for humanity to start creating the reality that we want and we deserve and we need, and that the earth deserves and needs. Another thing I connected to in that writing there was when Jason said the real mastery is to bless the darkness itself, to see it as the sacred forge where the soul remembers its origin. And that's really where I'm at right now, is learning to see the blessings in the hard things that happen to me in life and not wishing them away, and really connecting to the lessons that I learned through them that I wouldn't have learned had that darkness not presented itself. And it's a hard thing to do, but I think ultimately I have so much to gain by going there. And the final thing I wanted to emphasize in his writing was when Jason said, the shadow is not the enemy of the flame, it is the stage on which the flame reveals its brilliance. Yeah, it's just that old saying that, like, you can't have the light without the dark. Or maybe you can't realize the light without the dark. You can't ignite. And it's a special part of being human, It's part of life as it is, and when we can embrace it, I think we can let the heaviness of the darkness go. For me, I know that a lot of the world pressing in on me as a child, I let it affect me too much, and it made me timid and afraid to go against the grain, in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different realms in my life. But ultimately, the trauma that nearly broke me somehow gave me the confidence to finally be who I'd always been. And I don't think I'm not sure I would have gained that confidence had I not survived the struggle, survived the fight and the things that nearly killed me, and proved to myself how strong and resilient I really am. And to let my love light shine, now I don't really care what anybody else thinks of me, and it's most important that I'm being authentic and that I feel good in the truth that I know, and that I help to spread that to others. And so I just loved that writing and wanted to read it today when the darkness is about to show itself as autumn turns to winter, but I'm going to be basking in this beautiful light on this lovely autumn day before the frost and the freeze come and cause some of this beauty to wither. So thank you for being here with me today, and I hope you have a beautiful day.